Hey, welcome back. We're here with Ted Thomas with video number 2. So welcome back, Ted.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm really glad that you're here sharing this information with us here at the group. One of the questions I had after our last call is, tax liens and deeds. I know it's pretty competitive, but is there enough for everyone?
Oh boy. All right. Now I'm standing at a big desk. And this is a studio like you. I'm in the back of my house now, okay? So this is a studio. There's a big lake out there and everything. So but I'm just going to I'm going to disappear for a minute. I'm just going to reach down and get stuff from my desk. Okay. Yeah. You're not going to believe this. These are tax lists. Let me explain them.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. People say, is there enough? Okay. This is just one county, and you can see right on the top of it, Tampa, Florida, okay? And this newspaper has no pictures in it. It just has lists of tax liens. There's 40,000 on this one list, and this is just one county. Okay? All right, now I'm going to show you other ones here. Just give me a second. I'll get some more. Okay. Now here's another one that I got here. This is a list of tax defaulted properties. It's unbelievable. Okay, so there's another one. So I have these lists. So every county makes a list like this. Now the beauty of this is you can get these online if you want. So I tell people, when you get to the list, don't push the button because it'll turn out 30,000 of them. You don't want all those. We teach you how to pick the right ones. So you're getting the idea. So there's thousands of these across the United States. There's 5,000 tax auctions a year, and most investors don't have a clue. They don't even know what's going to happen.
Wow. But is the tax lien certificate tax defaulted business complicated?
Well, here's what it is. It's this complicated. What's complicated is the different counties, learning where they are. There's nothing complicated about it. What the government does, if the property, they don't pay the tax, you can raise your hand like I'm doing now. Raise your hand and you buy a piece of paper. And then you take that piece of paper home. That's all you do. Your work is done. It's a passive investment. Now, only two things can happen. You said, is it complicated? One, the people come in and pay the tax. That means you get back all your money. Now, let me say that again. When you buy a tax certificate, you get back all your money because your money is protected by the property tax code in that county. It's protected by the property tax code. All right. If you don't get paid, you get the property. If you don't get paid, you get the property. That's how simple tax certificates are. You either get paid or you get the property. Now, you can't invest with me, and they can't invest with you. They always have to give their money to the government. So that's how simple it is.
Hey, Ted, I have a lot of individuals that are retired in the group, and they've got to be a little more conservative with their money. Is this okay for them? Let's talk about the tax.
This is absolutely perfect for retirement plans. As a matter of fact, I do a lot of talks for people that show you how to get an IRA and things like that. So this is perfect for retirement programs because your money is protected by the property tax code. So when you invest with the government. They can't give any money to me or a broker or anyone like that. They have to invest with the government, and then the government holds that certificate until the people pay. And once the people pay, then the government sends you a check. I don't send you the check. The government sends you the check, and it'll be whatever you put in plus the high interest rate on the certificate. So it's a very conservative. I like to tell people it's predictable, it's certain, and it's secure.
That sounds great. Well, Ted, let's discuss the tax lien certificates. I'd like you to really give my investors a really good, fresh look at this investment, and then maybe you could show some examples of some people that made some money, maybe like a case history or information of that kind of sort.
Okay, so good. So why don't we do that? That's a great idea. Now, what we have the ability to do now is I can just push a button and all of a sudden the video will come on. So the woman that'll come on, she's sitting at her computer, working with her computer, and she's buying tax certificates online. And we can teach people how to do that. So it wouldn't matter if they're in Pennsylvania, they could buy in Florida, they could buy in Texas, they can buy whatever state they want. So that's the beauty of this now, because the counties will come online. All right, so this woman's name is Marilyn, and here she comes.
Stocks are volatile. I've lost money in them before. With Ted's program, it's an online program. You buy everything online. I got 48, averaging 8-9%. Some of them are earning 18%. It's an awesome program. It's a safe, secure way to earn a whole lot better interest rate than the banks are giving you at a half or a 1%. The little guy can do it. You can have a couple of $1,000s and invest. Most of the liens that I purchased were a couple $100, under $1,000. So it's a secure program. I wish I had known this years ago.
Well, that was Maryland, and there she was making 8%, 10%, 16%. Now, I'd like to show you another one. This particular woman is the same thing. By the way, women really love this investment, and they love it because they can stay home and work on the internet. And all they have to do is use their brain, and they don't have to do any fixer-uppers. And that's what a lot of women like. And I know a lot of guys, they got a pickup truck and a hammer and all that. They want to do that. But this is a perfect business for a person that doesn't want to do that. Now, this young lady is sitting in her home in her state. Now, her state doesn't sell tax certificates, but they sell tax defaulted property. So she called. She said, Ted, I don't want any of those properties. I have to do tenants and trash and fix her up. I don't want that. So I taught her online. And we can teach all your clients how to buy online. So she's buying in another state. Now, her big concern was, could she really earn 18%? So listen to this. Now, her name is Peggy Palms, and you'll see she does this in her pension plan. Here she comes.
I've chosen this as my retirement investment venue. I'm tired of watching stock portfolios and mutual funds go up and down and up and down. So I got online and looked in a lot of different counties to see who paid the highest interest rate, who had the easiest system to actually buy certificates. So I've found this amazing vehicle through TED's system where you can buy something that's very high return, 18% in my case, and higher, 36% in some cases. The first tax liens I bought 3 of them for $2,273. I wanted to try it, just see if it was something that was safe and would pay off. I got those certificates in the mail, put them in my drawer, and waited. Next thing I know, months later, I got a check in the mail for $3,159. That was an 18% annual return on my money. It's an amazing world that's opened up to me with this system. And the main thing is I've taken control of it, and I found something very safe with a high return. And I'm going to have enough money for retirement now. I feel confident about that.
Okay, now there you have it. All the people that you know could be doing the exact same thing, and they could do this all online if they wanted, from their home or any place that they had an internet connection.
Now, Ted, you're telling me people can make $5,000, $10,000, even $25,000 just in one deal by doing tax liens and deeds?
Well, actually, you can make much more than that. I have clients that make six-figure incomes doing this. They make 6 figures doing this business. So here's what happens. There's many properties that will come up for auction, and the back taxes are what's owed. If no one bids it above the back taxes, you can buy properties for back taxes. So let's say it was a $100,000 property at $100,000 here, and you could buy it for 10 cents on the dollar. And I'm going to show you some examples of that right now, of people actually doing it, buying some of them online, some of them offline, whichever they want. I like to go to the auction, but you know, there's only so many auctions where you are. So you'd have to travel. So a lot of people just want to do it online. So you can take a look now, and you'll see that these people are buying property for pennies on the dollar and then quickly reselling them and making big profits. So here he comes.
I'd have to say that the best dollar-for-dollar deal I've ever done on a piece of land, it happened in Oklahoma. I went out to an outlying county, and I bought a tax lien. The tax lien was on a 25-acre piece of land. The tax lien was only $67.12. You'd think that nobody would ever abandon a piece of land for that small of a tax bill, but things like that do happen. And guess what? Those people never did pay that tax. They never redeemed that tax lien, and I ended up getting the tax deed to that property. I eventually sold that piece of land for $22,500. It's not uncommon to make $10,000 or $20,000 off of a deal.
So there you have it. There's a person that made money just buying at the tax defaulted auction. So we're really teaching everybody, and in our presentation, we teach people 2 things. 1, how to buy tax lien certificates, and 2, how to buy tax defaulted property. We teach both ways so the person can decide which one they like the best.
You know, Ted, I'm really amazed at how much money people can make, and it sounds unbelievable. And so you're saying that the law requires payment to my client, or they own the property?
Yes. What your client can do is they can invest as a husband and wife team, as single people. A lot of people like to do it in their pension plan, so the pension plan can invest. And what they do, now keep in mind, I'm an educator. Right? Now, I do this myself. Matter of fact, I'm leaving after we finish this video together. I'm going to leave. I'm going to another state, and I'm going to look at 40 properties in the next few days. I did them online already, and I'm going to go and check them out, and I'm going to bid on those properties at auction. We're going to bid on auction. So I'm a player. But they can't give me any money. They have to invest the money with the government, and they get a check back from the government. That way, they always know they're going to get paid. This is always accountable and measurable. No brokers involved, no middleman, no accountants, none of those people. You're doing directly with the government.
You know, I know you live in Florida, and could you show us some examples of somebody making money buying properties at auction in Florida?
Oh, listen, I'd like to do that. I have a young woman that started with me. Now, you'll relate to this because you have so many club members. You've seen this, but most of the public hasn't seen this. All right, this young woman started with me. She got a divorce, and that's kind of bad, but she got a nice settlement. Now, you've seen this happen a lot, but the audience will feel bad because this woman gave her money to a broker and said, make me money. Well, that was unfortunate because you know what happened. The broker didn't make any money. So she showed up, she attended my class, spent a few days with her, and I'm going to let her tell her story. It's absolutely amazing. She never bought a piece. She never had any real estate experience. She was a homemaker, brought the kids up, stayed home, took care of things, and never was out in the business world. So she had never bought a piece of property and never knew what it was to buy one. Even the one she lived in, it was all provided. And so, here's her video. It's really surprising. She ended up doing about 7 properties her first year. And listen how much money she made in her first year.
This is the best time to be using TED's system. In these horrible economic times with all the foreclosures and all the things that are happening with people, I've bought more properties than I would have dreamed possible. In my first year, I bought 7 different properties. I sold them and made over $125,000. I mean, is that amazing for somebody who had no experience at this, didn't know anything? I didn't even know what a tax deed was. I bought an office condo, I bought residential property, I bought a lot, I bought a boat slip for yachts. Just like this property right here. I bought this at a tax auction. I paid a little over $5,400, $5,418.03, and I sold it less than a month later for over $70,000, $75,000. I made a $70,000 profit, and these people got a house for $50,000 less than all the houses in the neighborhood were selling for. Is that amazing or what? I made money. They got a great deal. I love Ted. His system is the best.
Okay, now her name was Puff Darling, and she started out with no experience. That's a great name, isn't it? Facebook wouldn't let her use the name, and that's her name. Puff is her first name. I thought, oh my goodness, So Puff Darling's her name, and she's done well. So she made $125,000. And if you watch the video, you can see she really bought some oddball things. She bought boat slips. She bought open land. She bought houses. She would call me on the phone. Can I buy a boat slip? And I said, why not? If it's got a big value, why not buy it? Now in Florida, a boat slip has a big concrete things that go in the ground because, we have the wind from the hurricanes. So they're very expensive. Sometimes a boat slip is $200,000-$300,000 in Florida. She bought it for $15,000. Yeah, she made a great deal at the tax auction. So there's all kinds of money to be made in this business.
Hey, Ted, I really want to thank you for taking some time with us today. I'm really excited about continuing on with our next video and getting even more information. So I'm really excited. And thank you for sharing your time today.
Happy to do that. I look forward to seeing you soon.